Tonight on Connecticut's news station, a community rallying in support of a boy who accuses his teacher of using a racial slur in the classroom. We'll take you to the district's Board of Education meeting tonight.
And we're gearing up for a sunny September stretch, but we know that's not going to last forever. Your full forecast coming up.
And we're following a developing story this hour. The state reaches a settlement with two men wrongfully convicted of murder decades ago. A once well-regarded medical examiner's reputation is in question. We'll have the latest tonight.
And it's been 1 week since the primaries, but election controversy continues in the town of Bridgeport. We'll have the latest developments as one candidate accuses the other of election interference.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And we begin tonight in West Hartford, where a Board of Education meeting wrapped up just moments ago. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
I'm Sarah Sanchez. In that meeting, the Board of Education heard public comment in support of a 13-year-old student who says his teacher used a racial slur in class. The incident has spurred an investigation by the district.
Fox 61's Jake Garcia was at tonight's board meeting, and he joins us live from West Hartford now. Jake?
Well, the results of that investigation have still yet to be seen, as concerned community members as well as family of the students urge the board to move quickly and to do everything in their power to make sure this never happens again.
How it could be possible that a teacher who is in the West Hartford schools could stand in front of a room of children and say something like that.
And dozens of community members demanding answers after a teacher at Sedgwick Middle School in West Hartford is accused of using a racial slur in front of students earlier this month. Before Tuesday night's meeting, supporters and the family of the student gathered outside of West Hartford Town Hall for a silent protest.
This is a teacher who took it upon themselves to use this word and directly single out the child and say, I want you to know that I think you use this word and you're not going to use this word.
During the meeting, board members allowed those gathered to express their concerns, hearing directly from the grandmother of the student involved.
There's many ways to speak on this kind of a subject. You do not have to use the actual word. However, she chose to use it more than once,
urging the board to act swiftly.
It doesn't mean that everybody in West Hartford is that way. However, I want to see what you're made of. I want to see what you are made of.
Earlier this month, the mother of the student involved described to Fox 61 how students reacted.
The kids were stunned and all silent in the classroom. And she said, yeah, I know you're surprised that I said that. That I actually said the word, but I can say it, I'm a teacher, you can't because you're students.
Though the Board of Education addressed the serious nature of what happened earlier this month.
Though we have done extensive training to create school environments that are inclusive and equity driven, we know that our work is never done.
This time it was not addressed after public comment.
There needs to be justice. It needs to be heard, and it needs to be expeditious.
Now, the teacher has been removed from the classroom depending the results of this investigation. Now, the superintendent has said before that depending on those findings, termination may be a possibility, but so far, no further action has been taken. Live in West Hartford, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, thank you, Jake. Breaking news tonight, the state has reached a settlement with the two men who were wrongfully convicted of murder decades ago.
Yeah, those men were originally found guilty in a murder case in New Milford back in the 80s based on evidence that was analyzed by then Chief Medical Examiner Henry Lee. But a judge recently ruled Dr. Lee liable for faulty evidence used in the case to convict Ralph Birch and Sean Henning. Their convictions were overturned in 2019 after they had both served more than 3 decades in prison. The state ruled Birch and Henning could sue for damages, and according to the Attorney General's office, the state has now settled the case for $12.6 million apiece, resulting in a more than $25 million overall settlement. Dr. Lee continues to maintain he has always done all his work correctly.
Turning to the weather now, I think the breaking news should just be how gorgeous it was outside.
Yeah.
And those weather conditions, summer, Mother Nature starting to cool down early, and it feels really good.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frayne joining us now. It does feel like fall outside, right?
Yeah, we've been talking about how we deserve this stretch of weather after getting through so much rain just yesterday and, you know, pretty much all of summer. Now we have a dry stretch of weather to contend with. And yes, that little taste of early fall as well. 65 degrees right now in the Hartford area. Today, we did feel a breeze. Winds are coming down a lot out there right now. The wind vanes stopped moving completely in some communities. And I don't think the wind will be as gusty or noticeable during the day tomorrow. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 50s already for Meriden, for Chester, upper 50s in Norwich, and mid 50s for Torrington. We'll see overnight lows dip back into the upper 40s to low 50s as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. But tomorrow is another nice sunny day. I think it'll be even brighter tomorrow than it was outside today. We had a few clouds occasionally. After a refreshing start, by lunchtime, we're looking at temperatures warming up near 70 degrees, and we'll see high temperatures climb into the lower to middle 70s as we head through the afternoon. If you like the weather Wednesday, you're going to love it on Thursday as well, because it's almost exactly a carbon copy. Then we'll see more clouds Friday and a chance for some rain this weekend, which is a bit of a bummer, but we're still trying to figure a few things out. We'll explain your full forecast coming up.
Rachel, thank you. New at 10 tonight, another man is being charged in the murder of a Waterbury mother last year, and this marks the third arrest in this case. 21-year-old Jasper Green was arrested yesterday. Last year, Mabel Martinez Anton Giorgi was shot while she was in her own home. Officials say the suspects in the shooting were aiming at another car when a bullet went through the woman's home and hit her in the head. Police say she was not the intended target. One man was convicted on murder charges back in July, while a third is still awaiting trial and has pleaded not guilty to the charges. Also new tonight, the Southington Fire Department is investigating a car fire tonight. They say they arrived at Catherine Lane just before 3 this afternoon to find a car completely engulfed in flame. That fire nearly reached the garage the car was parked next to. Multiple towns responded and managed to get the car put out. Thankfully, there were no injuries reported. We're working to learn more about the damages.
Bristol police are investigating 2 hate crime incidents. Police say a racial slur was written in chalk along a sidewalk in Rockwell Park over the weekend. And yesterday, police say they found swastikas painted on a sign at the entrance of Northeast Middle School and on a nearby stop sign. Police are asking anyone living in the area to check surveillance cameras for video, and anyone with information should call Bristol Police.
A Hartford man will spend the next 6 years of his life in federal prison for his role in robbing a Hartford credit union last year. Take a look at the scene here at Keeney Park in Hartford as police were combing the area for Zyquan Fothergill and his accomplice back in June of 2022. Fothergill used a ghost gun to rob Syncap Federal Credit Union on Main Street, making off with over $24,000 in cash. His associate, Hakeem Robinson, stood watch during the robbery and then helped him escape. Police were eventually able to arrest the pair at Keeney Park. Both pleaded guilty to the robbery charges. Robinson was sentenced back in May.
Also new tonight, Hartford's annual celebration of Puerto Rican Pride has been given a new date. The Puerto Rican Parade Committee announced it will host the Greater Hartford Puerto Rican Day Parade and Festival next month on Sunday, October 8th. The parade and festival was originally planned for earlier this month, but was postponed to allow Hartford's police force to attend the funeral service for their fallen colleague, Detective Robert Garton. Well, the campaign for Bridgeport mayoral candidate John Gomes files a lawsuit asking a judge to overturn the results of the primary election and order a new election to be held.
Now, this comes after his campaign released a video showing possible election fraud. On Saturday, the Gomes campaign released surveillance video on social media, which appears to show a city worker making 7 separate drops into the absentee ballot box outside Bridgeport's Government Center. Now, Bridgeport police say they are investigating the possible misconduct on the video and how that video surveillance video got out. Gomes is accusing incumbent Mayor Joe Ganim of being behind the ballot box stuffing. Gomes had been in the lead until absentee ballots were tallied on primary Tuesday, ultimately losing by about 250 votes. We caught up with the police chief and Gomes at tonight's Police Academy graduation to talk about this ongoing investigation.
Whenever there's an active investigation, it's just not fair to us or any of the possibly involved individuals to talk about the investigation. So I'm sorry, but we just can't talk about an ongoing investigation. But just be rest assured that we are doing our due diligence.
And while the investigation is ongoing, Gomes says he and his team are prepared for a legal battle if someone from his campaign is charged for leaking the video.
If that's the outcome, we're prepared. We stand on what was put forth and the credibility within it, and it speaks volume of what has happened not only in 2019, now in 2023.
The State Elections Enforcement Commission is set to meet tomorrow morning. No word if the complaints filed in Bridgeport will be brought up before the commission.
Also happening in Bridgeport tonight, as we mentioned, 23 new police officers are hitting the pavement. These officers graduated from the police academy tonight, surrounded by friends and family after completing their 6-month training. The lieutenant commander of the academy says the graduation comes in a time where there's a recruitment crisis, so it's well needed. They're well welcomed. The chief says Mayor Ganem's goal is to have 100 new officers by next summer. He's hopeful they'll meet that mark.
We're not stopping here. We hope to start another class October 16th. We're going to be taking lateral officers in the very near future.
I'll always go on the record. I've been training police officers since 2010, and this is my greatest group I've ever had.
The officers will start their first patrol this Saturday.